With the A320, we combined air data computer and the inertial reference units all in one box, of which we have 3 for the normal redundancy. Apart from the ADIRUs, we also segregate the systems into dependent position determining systems. Okay, so in other words, navigation systems that are dependent on, let's say, ground stations or external influences, external information. We have landing aids, which are used extensively or exclusively for landing. And then we have independent position determining systems, which do not require the assistance of any ground station or anything. All the aircraft systems can self-sustain the information and retrieve the information and provide the information to the aircraft systems. Okay, so these are the 4 different kinds of navigational groups we're going to look at. Okay, and let's move on to the air data inertial reference system. So we said, funny enough, we have 3 of these. 3 units. Number 1 is used exclusively for all the number 1 computers in the aircraft. Number 2 is used exclusively for all the number 2 computers in the aircraft. And number 3 is in hot standby and can be switched at any given time if the IR part or the ADR part of number 1 and 2 is gone wrong. Okay, so not only can we switch the ADIRU itself, we can switch parts of the ADIRU number 3, the IR part or the ADR part, whichever one we require. In all respects, 3 independent boxes, which provide a lot of different options and a lot of navigational assistance for our systems. For example, the air data part takes all the information from the pitot probes, the static ports, and total air temperature sensors to provide the air data information that all the navigational systems require. The air data references, okay, are then calculated. So all the airspeeds are calculated, the total air temperature is compensated, the angle of attack and everything is then displayed by the DMCs as we saw earlier on. Okay, and put onto the primary flight display, which is used predominantly for short-term navigation, fly up, down, left, right. Okay, we also have connections to the flight warning computers for example, here we can see an overspeed or a stall coming up. All these different red warnings go via the flight warning computers for the specific attention getters. The inertial reference section, okay, will provide information on the PFD like vertical speed here or flight path vector here. We'll provide heading information, which is on the compass rose here and here. And ground speed, because we're usually using airspeed, okay? But we also need, some systems need ground speed and also aircraft position. So not only do we have the aircraft position through the 3 IRs, we also have their position monitor, the comparison of all 3 IRs, which compare themselves with the FMCs as well. And in the newer aircraft, I have GPS, which compare themselves with the GPSs as well. All right, so we have a lot of systems here for position determining. So the ADIRUs the ADIRS systems are switched here by these three knobs up on the 49VU up here. They are the cockpit is designed in a way that the more frequently you operate things, the more in reach they are. Okay, so everything that's frequently used or operated is either in front of you or up here, and the further aft you go is because it's the least used items. Okay, so this is really, really aft because once the pilots have switched these on and the ADIRUs have aligned, then they don't have to worry about them for the remainder of the flight. Okay, and we can see each ADIRU has a IR part and an ADR part, which is completely selectable off if it's faulty. Okay, and we switch them on to be able to align and start navigating. And there is also a fault here, a default position for the attitude. Okay, if we need to for a quick alignment process, or if we need to get the attitude up, aircraft attitude up quickly. All right, so for any part of the ADIRU, there are fault lights and indications and abilities to switch that faulty part off. Position, there's no indicator on the navigation display that shows present position. The present position is provided. Some aircraft have here an LCD display with the present position. This is an old MSU. Some of them have the present position here. The present position, as we saw from the previous slide, can be displayed or are displayed on the MCDUs. Okay, of all three ADIRUs. And they compare the present position, and you'll see they're very, very, very accurate. They're probably about, I don't know, the accuracy to within a quarter of a mile, which is nothing in the world of air navigation, long-term navigation. Okay, this is the switching which we said that can be provided. For example, ADIRU number 1 provides information to system number 1, to captain's EFIS. ADIRU number 2 provides all the details for the first officer, and for any reason, if any of the ADIRUs had a problem, the number 3 could then be switched for either the heading information or the air data information to be the number 3s to be switched to the captain's or the first officer's side. A lot of redundancy there. Okay, now we have additionally to all this singing and dancing information, we have standby instruments as well. This is the older aircraft. So the 45-year-old designed aircraft had a standby airspeed indicator, a standby altimeter, and a standby horizon to provide the pilots with the necessary information to be able to and a standby compass as well up here to provide the pilots the necessary information to be able to land. With the evolution in time, we've installed now what they call an ISIS, unfortunate name, but that's what it's called, an integrated standby instrument system, where we have all those instruments in one. So we have a standby airspeed indicator on this tape here, a standby altimeter here. We have an air data, an attitude director indicator here. We still rely on the standby compass up here, which does not require any electrical power whatsoever. It's just this normal Scout's compass. All right. Of course, there are maintenance test facilities. Like we said before, if you go into the menu, you go to System Report Test. You can test ADRs, ADR number 1, IR number 1, ADR 2, IR 2, ADR 3, IR 3, the radio altimeters, the DMEs, there are different navigational systems. Okay, and you can see at the top here, the top, there's a little arrow pointing right. If you can see that there, means there's more pages, and there'll probably be about 4 pages of navigational systems that you can test. Okay, because there's lots of them. We're just touching the surface today. Okay, in terms of safety precautions, make sure you obey all the aircraft maintenance manual procedures. Make sure that you obey the procedures with these pitot probes. Through years of storage maintenance during COVID, people had the pitot probe covers on, and they used to invariably once a week run the engines. Do not run your engines with the pitot probe covers on, because you will then melt them and you'll have to change your pitot probes. Okay, so they are very hot when the aircraft has just landed, so give them time to cool down if you have to perform any maintenance on them. So obey all the instructions, all the AMM instructions, guys, please.